Big 12 Big East Challenge continues in Waco, Texas. The only top 20 tilt in college basketball tonight from the Ferrell Center. Number 11 Baylor hosting undefeated number 18 Butler. Alongside Chris Patola, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Chris, a dynamic duo of lead guards on display. We'll get more into that in a moment. Baylor in their home white uniforms controls the opening tip. And there is one of those dynamic guards, number 12 in white, Jared Butler with the ball. First shot of the game off the mark. It's out of bounds, and it's going to stay Butler basketball.
And of course, the other guard you're talking about, Rich, is Kamar Baldwin from Butler. These two guys having as good a start to the year as any guards in the country. I mean, they are so dynamic, especially on that offensive end when it comes to scoring the basketball.
That's Baldwin, number 3 in blue. Maceo Teague from the corner, in and out, offensive rebound, Mark Vital, and that is his specialty. Sets up Teague again, and he drains it.
And that's their team specialty. They're making 9 threes a game, and when you give them second shots at the basket, they're gonna kill you.
Inch for inch, pound for pound, Mark Vital, 11 in white, might be the best offensive rebounder in the nation. That's a whistle, we're going the other way. Butler's a team that averages under 10 turnovers a game. That's second in the nation. They already have their first one tonight. Davion Mitchell, 45 in white, brings it up. We welcome you to the Ferrell Center on the campus of Baylor University. You just saw one of the 8 remaining unbeaten teams go down. That number is 7. Will Butler be the next one to fall? They're 9-0 coming in for a tough Big East, Big 12 battle against the Baylor Bears, ranked 11th in the country. Rich Hollenberg, Chris Patola. Already we have a back and forth contest. Butler just hit their first bucket of the game, and Baylor has an early 4-3 lead.
Well, you've got 2 of the best guards in the nation in this game. One of them right there with the ball, Jared Butler. Kamar Baldwin, 3 in blue on the other side.
Maceo Teague has his second triple of the night.
Baylor team making 9 threes a game. They already have 2 to start this one.
Here's Baldwin with the ball, slashing in, right hand, in and out. Gillespie, the rebound for the Bears. Teague, that's a heat check, and a little out of his range, goes out of bounds for the first Baylor turnover.
It's more than a heat check. That's a prayer right there. And look, he's buried 2 to start this game. I don't necessarily mind being aggressive, but against this Butler team, they are so judicious with their offense. Nice backdoor cut there that you've got to, if you're Baylor on the other end, take care of the basketball, not turn it over, but that also means taking good shots.
There's Jared Butler, number 12 in white, leading scorer on the Baylor Bears. Teague with 7 on the shot clock. Gillespie, elbow jumper is good. Freddie Gillespie, the reigning Big 12 Player of the Week. 4 double-doubles on the year already. He's got his first 2 tonight.
Not bad for a former Division III player. What a story Freddie Gillespie's been.
Here's Baldwin. And with 4 on the shot clock. Butler stepped out of bounds. That's their second turnover of the night. Well, one of the interesting subplots to tonight's contest, Chris Patola, is the fact that Scott Drew, the winningest head coach in Baylor University, is coaching his first ever game against his alma mater, the Butler Bulldogs.
And he's been here 17 years. It's amazing the run Scott Drew has had. First of all, at one school for that long, and what a job he's done. I thought last year was the best coaching job he has done. With that group, Tristan Clark goes down early in the year. They reinvented themselves. They were one of the hardest playing teams in America. And then coming into this season, he's got a great set of guards. We talked about Gillespie, the development he's had. What a job Scott Drew's done.
Davion Mitchell will inbounds to Teague. That's a transfer to another transfer. Mitchell came over from Auburn, Teague from UNC Asheville. They both practiced last year with the team, their first season playing, and both major contributors. Teague already with an early 7, leading all scorers. 4 minutes in. Nice dump off, and it's blocked by Vital. Baylor wants to push the tempo. Butler wants to slow it down. It's a classic woe versus go matchup tonight versus top 20 teams. Here's Mitchell for 3. Got it! And that's crazy if Davion Mitchell's going to knock down threes.
It is, because he's not nearly as proficient from there as Teague and Butler, but that's what this team does, man. They fire away with impunity, and they have been so good from that three-point line all year.
Baylor's on a 7-0 run against one of the best defensive teams in basketball. And there's Kamar Baldwin's first bucket of the game.
He is so smooth, man. He's got all 3 levels. How about going to his right, his offhand, and then coming back to that left hand to get that shot off.
So get used to this, Chris. It's Baldwin for Butler, Butler for Baylor. Either way, we're talking about 2 of the best lead guards in basketball.
Language is not my strong suit, man. I've had anxiety all day about how we're going to keep that all straight.
Here's McDermott, one of the best three-point shooters in the Big East.
The backdoor
cut. And Thompson's met at the rim by Gillespie. A whistle stops play. James Breeding might be inadvertent. And we have a timeout on the floor. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and by Land Rover, above and beyond. Inside the Ferrell Center on the campus of Baylor University, the number 11 ranked Baylor Bears lead the 18th ranked Butler Bulldogs 14-7 alongside Chris Spatola. I'm Rich Hollenberg. We're going to be treated tonight to a dynamic duo of lead guards, some of the best in the country.
Well, it starts with Kamar Baldwin from Butler. He's your classic 3-level scorer, outstanding at the three-point line. He's such a strong guard. When he gets into that mid-range or at the rim, he can be really tough to stop. And then it's Jared Butler on the other side, shooting 47% from 3 this season. He's got a quick release. He can catch and shoot. He can catch it, put it on the floor, take it off the bounce. What a dynamic duo of guards this is. Been looking forward to this matchup all day long, Rich.
Yeah, and in a nation full of terrific Division I lead guards, the Cassius Winstons, the Anthony Cowans, I mean, the list goes on and on. Peyton Pritchard out west. These 2 guards might be on the short list of many teams in terms of their overall production, how they score, how they defend. If you haven't seen them yet, you're in for a treat tonight. Good shooting early on from both teams, shooting above 50% from the field to start. Here's Devontae Bandu, another high-scoring guard for Scott Drew's Bears. Vital low post. 3 on the shot clock. Tried to get it up, shot clock violation, and there's the first evidence of one of the best defenses in the nation for the Butler Bulldogs.
That was well defended inside. That was an absolute clinic by Christian David, just staying big. And Vital's not tough, or rather not easy to keep from getting to his space. He's so thick and strong.
Bryce Inzi going to work on Flo Thamba, reserve center, number 0 in white, and that'll be Thamba's first. So Bryce Inzie will go to the line and shoot a pair, just a 56% free throw shooter so far this season. But in the early portion of this season, he leads the Big East in field goal percentages, shooting a robust 65% from the field.
This is a much different Butler team than last year, and one of the ways they're different is they're much more physical. And it starts with this guy at the line, Enzi, Bryce Golden. Those two guys up front have given them a physicality they did not have last year. They were soft at times last year. And those two guys in the middle for them have really made them tougher.
Well, Chris, this just in from the newsroom. The mighty keep falling. Louisville, #1 in the country and undefeated, has lost up in Madison Square Garden in the Jimmy V Classic to Texas Tech. So 2 unbeatens tonight have already gone down from the ranks of unbeaten, and Butler is going to have their hands full. It could be 3 by the time this night is over if the 11th ranked Baylor Bears have any say in it.
A Texas Tech win is it's a vintage Chris Beard win,
isn't it?
I mean, and they're going to be good by the end of the year. You know, that's just how he coaches. He's got a lot of new faces every year. It's how he runs his program. They're going to be good by the end of the year.
And keep in mind, they've been playing the last handful of games without their leading scorer, Jamias Ramsey. So now with Louisville losing, with Maryland going down, here are your 6 remaining undefeated teams, Butler being one of them, off to their best start in 13 seasons.
The Liberty Flames, the Fighting Richie McKays.
Oh, that's right.
At 11-0, a robust 11-0.
There's Baldwin off the rim with the right hand. It goes out of bounds. And Jamie Lucky, veteran officiating crew, says it's going to stay Butler basketball. Pace of play is going to be such a key in tonight's game, don't you think?
It is. A lot's made about Butler's tempo. And look, they're not like Virginia, where they are intentionally trying to just slow it down. They'll run if they haven't. But they're so deliberate when they do get it in the half court. The ball's going to see both sides of the floor. They force the other team to have to guard them for a full shot clock.
Ball went out of bounds. James Breeding said it was going to be Butler basketball, but now Jamie Lucky is conferring with him, and they reversed the call. And there's Laval Jordan, and he's got the Butler DNA, if you will. A former player. He obviously worked with Brad Stevens, then went on to be an assistant coach at Michigan with John Beilein. He says those are his 2 major influences. Still texts with Brad Stevens, now the head coach for the Boston Celtics, on a regular basis, but he's bringing Butler basketball back to what we expect Butler basketball to be after missing the NCAA tournament a year ago. They wear their practice shirts and it says, gritty, not pretty. They don't care about style points at Butler. They just want to win ball games. Nice little 2-man game. What an assist from Aaron Thompson. 4th in the Big East in that department. He's got his first dime tonight. And due for 3. Got it. That's what this Baylor team does now, Chris.
They shoot it with such confidence. And I give Scott Drew a lot of credit. They run some simple stuff. I mean, they're not getting real complicated. He lets those guards make plays, be it off the bounce or he gives them the freedom to take shots like that. And they've been so good. Everybody's struggling from the 3-point line. It hasn't really affected Baylor this year.
Affected Jordan Tucker there, who was behind the line, and he missed his first shot attempt. Here's Butler with the ball. And he had it blocked. Loose ball. Gillespie's got it underneath a scrum. And if it's a possession arrow, it'll be Butler possession with 11:37 to go. But the 11th ranked Baylor Bears have a 9-point lead on the undefeated Butler Bulldogs. Well, the Baylor Bears have led from the opening tip on the undefeated Butler Bulldogs 19-10, and some of the biggest Baylor Bear fans are in attendance. That's Joanna and Chip Gaines, fixer-upper fame, and This Baylor team maybe last year was a little bit of a fixer-upper when that young man had to go down with a knee injury about midway through the season. That's Tristan Clark. As you could see, Chris, he's in his street clothes, out for tonight with knee soreness. But when he went out last year with a knee injury, Scott Drew, as you alluded to earlier in the game, really had to kind of reinvent this Baylor offense, and they took off ever since then. Tucker way off the mark, and now Baylor wants to run. And do try to thread the needle, no go. That's a Baylor turnover, and Baldwin in transition. And he's off the mark. Only one field goal so far for Kamar Baldwin.
That's why I say that Butler, we overstate their tempo or their slow play. That's a quick shot, and Butler will take that, especially from a guy like Baldwin.
Saved by Gillespie. 7 on the shot clock. Vital runs into a wall of Butler defenders, puts it up off the window, no go. That's not really Mark Vital's game.
And then this is where Butler gets you, because they're going to let the ball see both sides. You got backdoor cuts. You have to guard everything. Look at this.
Another give and go, but they come up empty at close range. Inside Gillespie. Loves that spin move. A quick turnaround from Freddie Gillespie. He's got 4.
Started his career at Division III Carleton. Winds up here at Baylor, and I'm telling you what, the difference just between last year and this year in his game, he's got a chance to be a pro, which is incredible given his story and where he started.
Baldwin shot fake into the corner. The freshman Caleb Battle saved it from going out of bounds. Baylor extending their defense. 2 on the shot clock. And they force a tough one and come away with it.
Give Baylor credit. Their defense has been outstanding.
And that's going to be a foul on the freshman Battle.
Here's Freddie Gillespie on the other end. I mean, look, he's 6'9", bordering 6'10", 250 pounds. Look at him run the floor. Good catch. He's got a nice pair of hands. And then just the patience to get the shot he wants. A good find. You mentioned he was the Big 12's Player of the Week this week. After that win over Arizona, he's an outstanding shot blocker. But the best work he does is on the offensive glass.
Super smart kid, too. Was a summa cum laude coming out of high school in Minnesota. Decided to choose academics over athletics and went to Carleton, as you said, a Division III school, and decided to transfer when he was watching North Carolina back in 2016. He was watching them on TV, said, I think I could play like those guys. So he ended up walking on at Baylor. They gave him a scholarship, redshirted a year. Now he's starting and the reigning Big 12 Player of the Week. Quite a meteoric rise for Freddie Gillespie.
Well, those D3 schools in this day and age are constantly being pilfered by the transfer market. Those Division III schools don't stand a chance.
Gillespie with the 4 double-doubles. He leads the team in steals and block shots. Here's Matt Meyer. Never saw a shot he didn't like.
This Butler defense, one of the best in the country. And Baylor has gone right after them.
Yeah. How've they done it?
Well, they've attacked the paint first and foremost. And then early in this game, they kind of loosened things up with that 3 ball.
So far shooting 3 for 7 from beyond the arc are the Baylor Bears. They lead the conference, the Big 12, at a 38% clip coming in. That foul is going to go on Gillespie. That'll be his 2nd. Something that the Bears are going to have to keep an eye on, especially, as we mentioned a moment ago, with Tristan Clark sitting this one out with that knee soreness. Aaron Thompson has his first point of the night. Saturday afternoon on ESPN, a great doubleheader for you. It starts with a bitter rivalry game in the state of Tennessee. 13th ranked Memphis, 19th ranked Tennessee Vols in Knoxville at 3 Eastern. Then John Calipari and number 8 Kentucky host Georgia Tech at Rupp Arena in Lexington. Thompson goes 2 for 2, making his 75th consecutive start for the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you what, that Tennessee-Memphis game got contentious last year. Coaches barking afterwards. Teams, not a lot of love lost between those two programs now that Penny's back in the fold.
There's Jared Butler's first points of the night, and wouldn't you know it, it's a three-pointer, his 28th triple of the year. And Chris, he is really close to shooting 50% from the field, 50% from 3, and 90% from the line. That is rarefied air in college hoops. McDermott, deep low. Off to the left, out of bounds, and another empty possession for the Butler offense.
Well, threes is what they do. Baylor makes 9 a game. They are on fire in this first half. It's Maceo Teague off the offensive rebound. You give Baylor 2 shots at it, they're gonna kill you. And then Jared Butler, man, one of the best in the country. You mentioned the percentages. Look at this. Right off the bounce, little shake and bake. It's wet.
Funny how it goes.
By 1 loss. 13-point win, Rich.
Thank you, KC. The remaining unbeatens, as you see them, there's down to 6. And Butler is one of them, but they're in a world of trouble on the road in Waco against the 11th ranked Baylor Bears. Alongside Chris Spatola, Rich Hollenberg, I'm personally shocked that John Crispin didn't mention that Penn State was the team that took down number 4 Maryland as the Maryland Terrapins fall from the ranks of the unbeaten. But Matt Meyer got a shot in the chops there as time stops on the clock with 7:20 to go. What's been most impressive to you so far from this Baylor team?
Their defense.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they have the 4 threes, but here's the thing. I mean, they forced Butler into 3 turnovers, only 1 offensive rebound, and they're holding them to 25% from the field.
There's Battle at the other end, missed the gimme. Nothing going Butler's way so far. Here's Meyer, leaves it up for Thumper.
So in this first half, you've got a missed layup there, and you had a missed dunk from Enzi a few minutes ago. I mean, on the road in a game like this, if you got to finish the bunnies.
And Thompson, might have gotten away with a walk. Instead, he calls a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout from Waco, where it's been all Baylor Bears.
You can't miss breakaway layups when you're playing on the road against the top 11 team. That's just a blown layup there, and then Baylor's been so good at converting off of those turnovers. A nice drop off for Meyer there. This first half couldn't have been better for Baylor. I mean, it's been defensively, I think it has started there, and then obviously they've turned that into making shots on the other end.
Things are upside down right now for Baylor. They are holding opponents to 27% from behind the three-point line coming in. So far, Baylor's shooting 50%. And finally, one goes down for the Butler Bulldogs as Sean McDermott is really providing the only form of offense for Butler. He's got 8. That was the first time they scored in about 6 minutes. Meyer, short on the 3. Here comes Battle, the freshman down the right side.
The other thing, too, is Kamar Baldwin's 1 of 6. They got to find a way to get him going, because this offense won't function without him being aggressive and scoring.
Battle. Can't get 2 of them to go down in a row. Here comes Mitchell down the left side. Mitchell forces it up down the lane, and he got fouled for his effort. Well, our next Saturday afternoon men's college hoop game on ABC is an old rivalry between UCLA and Notre Dame from South Bend. That tips off at 3 Eastern, 2 Central on ABC. And every time I see UCLA Notre Dame, I flash back to a time when I wasn't even born yet. I think of Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton and that terrific rivalry, but they rekindled it a few years ago, and now you get to relive it all over again.
How often does Bill Walton enter your dreams?
Well, if he
Lou
did, they
Alcindor
would be nightmares. UCLA under Mick Cronin now.
Yeah. Notre Dame still under Mike Bray.
Yeah.
After all these years.
They put 100 up tonight. Talk about offensive execution. That's a Mike Bray calling part with the Fighting Irish. Another bunny from point-blank range missed by Bryce Enzi.
They're just spacing. I mean, Baylor just spaces you. It's not complicated. They're putting the ball in these guards' hands and allowing them to go to work.
These first 15 minutes dominated by the 11th ranked Bears. Facing their third top 25 opponent in their last 4 games. Mitchell off the mark, Vital another offensive rebound. And it's a loose ball. Who wants it? Oh. Put some Vaseline on that basketball. Two on the shot clock. Mitchell can't hear it. The Ferrell Center was at full throat, Chris Spatola, and Davion Mitchell was much the worse because of it.
This right here will give you the warm fuzzies. I mean, this will get you up in the morning right here. This is hard playing basketball at its finest. And there was really no change of possession. That's why the shot clock didn't reset. What a possession. You think it doesn't mean anything. That was unbelievable. Another blown layup.
Again missed the layup. And a jump ball. It's going to be possession arrow to the Butler Bulldogs. Finally, something goes right for Butler. Down 14 with 4:10 to go.
You know, Baylor's not a great shot blocking team, but they have tremendous length at the basket, be it Gillespie or Thamba. And it has clearly bothered, especially Enzi here tonight.
Here's Baldwin, checked by T. Butler is 1 for their last 12, and that gets ended by a Kamar Baldwin jump shot. Just his 4th point of the night, though.
And that's the guy. When this offense is struggling, he's got to get the ball. And I love the under out of bounds. You just put him on the block, isolated, and he goes to work.
Bandu forces it up off glass. Wanted a foul, but he's got the bucket. 7 points for Devontae Bandu. Already 6 different Baylor Bears in the scoring column. Enzi regained control and finally gets one to go from inside the paint.
That was the toughest one he's had.
Yeah. It's 5 points for Enzi. Butler trying to hang in this game with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Rebound to Thompson. Lefty jumper's good from Kamar Baldwin.
I mean, that's really good offense, and that's early offense. Again, this isn't a Butler team that's necessarily playing in mud. Like, they'll play fast, and I love the extra pass from David to hit the open Baldwin in the corner.
And a timeout called by the Baylor Bears with 2:36 to go, and the Bears up by 9. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Thanks, KC and John. Rich Hollenberg, Chris Spatola from the Farrell Center in the campus of Baylor University, where the Baylor Bears have led throughout, and that is not something that the Bulldogs are used to, Chris.
No, it's not. This Butler team has been so good on both ends of the floor all year. Tonight, they've had a hard time keeping these Baylor guards in front of them, and they've had a hard time scoring until this guy started to get loose a little bit.
Baldwin misses on the three there. Good weak side rebound by Bandu. Teague leaves it for Bandu. And a foul underneath the basket. It's going to go on Christian David, the junior out of Ontario, for the Bulldogs.
You know, Mark Vidal's unbelievable. I mean, he never stops. This is a Baylor team. They average 14 offensive rebounds a game. Vidal and Freddie Gillespie average almost 7 themselves. So by themselves, they are averaging half of those offensive rebounds. And this guy at the line, I'd go anywhere with this dude. I mean, he is a hard-rocking guy who just never quits. He never stops fighting. And look, he's not tall, but he is wide. He's about 230 pounds, and he sets the tone. He had the biggest impact in that Arizona game the other day for Baylor, and he didn't score a point.
Yeah, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He fouled out of that game, and Lord knows how many more offensive fouls he would have taken if he didn't foul out. There's Baldwin with a take, so we've seen him score at all 3 levels, like you talked about earlier.
We have. He is so good, especially in that left hand. I mean, he could go both ways, but going to his left, he's really hard to stop.
Just like that, the Baylor lead has been cut to 7. Butler on a 9-2 run. Vidal off the window, and an offensive foul. Once again, Baylor offense is at its best when Mark Vidal is underneath the basket.
Well, and he's not being guarded because he can't shoot. So he's got Broadway to himself. The problem there is Enzi saw it right away. I mean, you know, Vidal's eyes lit up, and Enzi knew it. You got to have a lot of courage to take that one, though. That's one of those where I kind of step aside and say, "Have at it, big fella."
Bucket here, and Butler's only down 2 possessions. But McDermott can't knock down the long jumper. Under a minute to go. It's been all Baylor in the first half in front of the home crowd. Looking to take down another ranked, undefeated team, just like they did Saturday against Arizona.
What is that? That's not a foul.
No whistle. Another 3 attempts. Got it. Bandu, his second triple of the night.
I mean, that's a foul. Kamar Baldwin got fouled, and I think Jared Butler was intending to foul him to stop the break. And Baylor gets a 3 off of it.
Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. 15 seconds to go in the half. Last shot time for the Bulldogs, but a foul is going to be called, and it's going to go on Jared Butler.
I mean, this is like a European play where you're trying to stop the break, so you foul him. I mean, that's a foul. And it's a missed call, and then Baylor gets a 3 on the other end. That's a gimme for the officials.
Ends up being what could have been a 5-point swing if Butler had an easy bucket at the other end. It turned into a 3-pointer for Baylor. They're up by 10, 6.6 to go. Men at the rim, Thamba with the block. A heave by Vidal goes over the backboard, and we go to halftime with 11th ranked Baylor up by 10 on undefeated 18th ranked Butler. 34-24 your score from Waco. Stay tuned for the E-Trade halftime report we sent to the studio with Kevin and John. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. B-Week continues from Waco, Texas, where the 11th ranked Baylor Bears have a 10-point lead over the undefeated 18th ranked Butler Bulldogs. And with Louisville and Maryland's losses tonight, Butler is now just one of 6 remaining unbeatens, but they are down 10 to the 11th ranked Bears. From inside the Ferrell Center, alongside Chris Patola, I'm Rich Hollenberg. We talked early in this game and often in this game, Chris, about the dynamic Baylor guards, and they have led the charge against Butler.
They have. What they do is they just take you off the bounce, and they force the defense into a scramble situation. You're constantly closing out. And so there's not a lot that Baylor's running. You're just putting it in these guards' hands, allowing them to go off the dribble. It's forcing help, and that's where the open shots are coming from. Off the glass, they've got 5 threes in that half. They've shot at 45% against one of the nation's best defenses because of how dynamic those guards are.
Baylor will start with possession, playing a little short-handed tonight with Tristan Clark in street clothes on the bench. You saw him in the jean jacket. He's the starting center for the Baylor Bears, out with knee soreness. Hasn't slowed down the Baylor offense tonight. Up 10 on Butler. Here's Butler, the leading scorer for Baylor. 3 on the shot clock. And a really strong defensive possession by the Butler Bulldogs, who you mentioned, one of the better defensive teams in the country. They also are a team that really values each possession as much, if not more, than most offenses. They average just 9.9 turnovers per game tonight. They've committed 4 turnovers against Baylor's defense, and the result has been 9 Baylor points. So Butler's trailed the entire game so far, Chris. What does their offense need to do to kind of get back in a groove?
Well, it starts with Kamar Baldwin. He's got to have the ball, and they've got to just finish easy plays. They had some looks, you know, and that's only their 5th turnover, so the turnovers haven't necessarily killed them, although Baylor has converted. They got to take advantage of some looks. They had some inside. Enzi missed some bunnies. They had a missed layup on a breakaway.
Here's Teague. He had 7 points in the first half. 31 in white. And Mark Vital from the corner knocks down a 3-pointer, just his 2nd 3 of the season. Go inside to Enzi. Thompson, pass swatted away by Gillespie. 5 on the shot clock. Lefty Thompson, an air ball out of bounds, and it's going to be Baylor basketball, an empty possession for Butler's offense.
What a block. They are so long at the rim. I mean, just a nice drop off to Enzi, and like I said in the first half, Rich, I mean, the length at the rim has really bothered Bryce Enzi tonight. Did you hear me say that in the first half?
I did hear it. I'm a good listener. Not a good talker all the time. Pretty good listener.
Sometimes I do wonder, though, Rich, if you're hearing things I'm saying.
Usually the only time I don't listen to you is when we're eating together. If it's lunch or dinner, I'm basically checked out. Here's Baldwin, guarded by Mitchell. That's a terrific matchup. And now a foul away from the ball on Baylor.
And I give Baylor a lot of credit defensively, because all this stuff that Butler runs, there's a lot of cutting. It's one of the best cutting teams. They're one of the best passing teams in the country. And Baylor has stayed locked in. You know, Butler forces you to defend for a lot of that shot clock, and Baylor has stayed locked in, kept the ball in front.
Bolden lost it. That's turnover number 6 for Butler. Baylor looking to knock down their third top 20 team this season already. They beat Villanova, who was ranked 10th in the country when they defeated them in the Myrtle Beach Invitational. Just this past Saturday, the Arizona Wildcats were unbeaten, ranked 12th coming into Waco, and Baylor took care of them. Now they've got the 18th ranked undefeated Butler Bulldogs on the ropes. Seven to shoot. Teague's got it in the corner. Now Mitchell, top of the key.
There's that guy again. Mark Vital, you just can't keep him off.
And with all due respect to this Baylor basketball team, there are so many teams that have great guards. Not every team in America has Mark Vital.
He's what the military calls a force multiplier. He basically lifts everybody else with all the dirty work that he does. And so it feels like there's 7 guys out there. He just never stops.
Foul's going to go on Sean McDermott, his first foul.
It has been a physical game. McDermott, you're not allowed to. You're allowed to run around the screen. You're not allowed really to run right through it.
And he's put on some weight the last couple of years, but still.
Was he doing? Yeah. Was he showing us the weight he's
trying to prove it? You don't want to prove it against Freddie Gillespie. 5 on the shot clock. T's going to have to squeeze it. Off to the right. And little by little, we're seeing more glimpses of this tenacious Butler defense.
They've had to work because these Baylor guards put you on an island. It is a lonely feeling.
Blocked out of bounds again. Another swat by Freddie Gillespie.
He's been all over protecting Baylor's basket tonight. So long at the rim. Those two guys, Gillespie and Vital, I think are perfect with this perimeter that Baylor has. I actually think this lineup is their best lineup, regardless of Tristan Clark in or out, whatever. I think they're better with him out of the lineup. This is their best lineup.
Well, Gillespie's on the bench now getting a breather, but he has 3 blocks tonight. He had 3 against the Wildcats in their win against Arizona. Baylor looking to extend a 13-point lead. Mitchell off the mark. Baldwin calls his own number. He's short on the 3. But McDermott grabs an offensive rebound. Here's Bryce Golden in the post. Skips it to McDermott. And they've got a 3 there.
That's really good offense. What a find by Golden.
10-point game, 15:33 to go. Here's Teague. Too strong on the 3, but Mitchell comes away with it. He set that shot clock to 20.
And who kept it alive? He doesn't get the rebound, but Vital, again, gets a hand on it.
Tough shot by Teague in the paint. A foul called, and that means we have a timeout on the floor with 15:11 to go. Baylor up 10 on the undefeated Butler Bulldogs. Join all of us at ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate. All donations benefit the V Foundation for Cancer Research. And whenever you're talking about V Week and you're talking about Butler, one name comes to mind, and that is the late Andrew Smith, who played for the Bulldogs back in the days when they were making back-to-back Final Fours. And before he succumbed to cancer, he and his wife Samantha started Project 44, which endorses saving lives through bone marrow donation. He actually received one himself, which extended his life and his time with his wife and family. And that organization, Project 44, now lives on, helping so many others in the wake of Andrew Smith's fight.
Celtics have been very involved the last 2 years. Brad Stevens course, his ties to Butler. He's on the board of directors of Project 44.
Here's McDermott with another three. And on that topic, Sean McDermott's mom, Kim, was diagnosed with cancer 3 years ago. She taught Sean everything he knows about basketball. She's a basketball coach in her own right. She defeated cancer, one of those people who benefit from all the money raised by the V Foundation. Mitchell misses another three. And all of a sudden, things are starting to shift in terms of momentum. Baylor won for their last 8 from the field. Here's Vandu, off the mark. Bulldogs down by just 7 now, have a chance to make it a 2-possession ball game. 6 minutes gone by in the second half. And a pass to no one in particular. I think
he thought it was
Bryce
going back
Golden got faked out by Kamar Baldwin.
It was to someone particular. He just didn't cut.
This is a Butler team led by Laval Jordan, who have 9 wins on the season, no losses. 5 of those 9 wins, Chris, against Power 5 teams. They beat Minnesota, Missouri, Stanford, and then just in the last week, they took down Ole Miss and University of Florida. This is a team that has their sights set on the NCAA tournament once again. Here's Jared Butler checked back into the game and immediately impacts the game. The Butler did it. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
He is so tough because he's shooting 47% from 3, so you have to guard him like that. The problem is he's so shifty, he's so good off the dribble, and he's an outstanding finisher when he gets it deep.
Jared Butler is now 27 for 30 from the free throw line. Very reliable from the stripe. He's got 6, and that pushes the lead back to double digits for the 11th ranked Bears.
Nice help.
Here's Aaron Thompson, 2 in blue, saddled with 3 fouls on the night now. 5 on the shot clock. Golden, left hand, got it to go.
And that's tough because Gillespie had that arm out there. What a nice finish by Golden.
Gillespie thought he might have block number 4 on the night.
He almost did. Moves his feet so well on the defensive end. Always comes over with help.
Here's Vandu. Offensive rebound. What else is new?
Laval Jordan, he told us, Laval Jordan earlier today, we've got a defensive rebound. We have to end defensive possessions with a rebound.
Easier said than done against these Bears. They have 7 offensive boards tonight. There's McDermott off the dribble, and that's something he's added to his game this year.
Last year, 80% of his shots on the year were 3s. This year, it's about 66%. So you said it, Rich. He's added some other dimensions to his game.
That one's swatted out of bounds by Thompson. It'll stay Baylor basketball. Butler scratching and clawing and trying to stay undefeated and hang with the Bears on the road. Back at the Ferrell Center, Chris Spatola, Rich Hollenberg, and survey says Louisville goes down from the ranks of the unbeaten. How about number 4 Maryland? Them too. Penn State took down the 4th-ranked team. How about Butler? Could it be their night to lose for the first time this season? They have their best record so far in the last 13 years, but they have trailed from the opening tip. They are down 8 on the road against the 11th-ranked Baylor Bears.
I'll tell you what, our sound effects department, the budget must be through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, that buzzer was a little aggressive, if I'm being honest. Just
There's
a little
Matt Meyer,
aggressive.
off the mark.
And then the question mark was a little dopey. That's how I would characterize
That
those
is
sounds.
honest feedback from Chris Spatola.
Well, I mean, clearly we've grown a new sound effects department. We're employing it here tonight. I mean, that's a dopey sound, you know?
Well, see, now you haven't made any friends in the control room. You better watch it, because the next thing you say that is not completely on point, you're getting the buzzer.
I get the buzzer. I hear the buzzer in my head 35 times a day. Doesn't stop me.
No call. Baldwin took advantage. First points of the half for Kamar Baldwin. He's in double digits with 11. And don't look now, but the Bulldogs are down just 2 possessions.
Laval Jordan asking for a flop on the last play.
Here's Jared Butler. Smooth move to the hoop. High degree of difficulty from Jared Butler. He has 8. .11 to go. Freshman battle.
Baylor shifting to his own here.
3 on the shot clock. Baldwin again, back-to-back buckets.
He is a 3-level scorer. So the layup the last time down, there's a nice little mid-range pull-up, which nobody works on anymore because the analytic morons tell you that it's a bad shot.
Butler trying to play can you top this with his counterpart, but it's Baldwin coming away with it.
How about
Look at
that
this
cross?
drive. My goodness. Kamar Baldwin has 3 straight baskets for the Butler Bulldogs, and they are within 4. Timeout on the floor. Baylor's lead has been sliced to 4.
He's as good a scorer as anybody in the country. Get up, fella. I'm coming through. Then he got the little mid-range pull-up. There's Jared Butler on the other end. We'll take a break from Baldwin. And then here's the other one, the answer on the other end. Kamar Baldwin, silky smooth.
Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Baylor basketball fans. The 7th-ranked women host Arkansas December 11th, 18th-ranked men host Jackson State later this month. Actually, they're now up to 11th in the country, and if they win tonight, they're going to be higher than that. We'll have combined 15 men's and women's Baylor games the rest of the season. You can sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12.
How about Baylor athletics? Football doing what it did this year.
Going to the Sugar Bowl against Georgia.
Volleyball.
Volleyball #1 in the country.
Women's basketball.
7th overall. Defending national champs.
And the men's team at 11 in the country.
And yet, they've led from the opening tip, Chris Spatola. Butler's in the midst of an 8-2 run. They've scored on 7 of their last 8 possessions. So we're going to see the foul here, but how has Butler forged their way back into this contest?
Kamar Baldwin and Sean McDermott. I mean, those guys have carried the load offensively. Aaron Thompson really hasn't gotten involved as well as he played against Florida the other day. But they've defended, I think, better. They've forced Baylor into some shots, some tough shots, shots that they were hitting in the first half that they're not in this half.
Teague gets them both, an 87% free throw shooter. McDermott with 16, the rest of the team just 24 points, but Kamar Baldwin certainly heating up. He's got 6 points this half, 15 for the game. It's 10 points now for Teague, and the lead is back up to 7. Here's Baldwin with the ball. He's on a hot streak. Let's see if that continues. The floater off the back iron. Ooh. Jared Butler. He put Caleb Battle on skates, but couldn't knock down the 3. 9 minutes left. Bulldogs going to run some offense. Tough shot by the freshman Battle, and he'll go to the line, looking for his first points of the night.
It's a nice aggressive move, because I think Butler at this point is looking for somebody else to drive the basketball. We've seen Baldwin do it. He's had to work so hard. Nice drive by Khalif Battle, the brother of Tyus, who was a star at Syracuse the last few years.
Thanks for mentioning that. Also from the state of New Jersey.
You're welcome for mentioning that. You should, is this a thing? Are you going to thank me for other things that I bring up tonight?
Yeah,
I like this trend.
There's been nothing worth thanking you for other than you mentioned a former Syracuse star. There's Battle with the other free throw.
You Syracuse people.
Our producer Andrew Jacobson takes issue with you speaking ill of the Syracuse Orange. We got ourselves a 6-point game. There's Butler strong to the hole, but met at the rim by the Butler defense. There's a Butler on Butler crime. And there's Thompson, his first field goal of the night.
With his right hand, the lefty, a strong drive and finish with that right hand.
47-43. We've got ourselves a ball game in a battle of top 20 teams. Already 2 unbeatens have gone down tonight. Butler trying to avoid being number 3 with 2 on the shot clock. Deep 3 by Teague. And that Butler defense again showing its wares. This is as close as the Bulldogs have been since 3 minutes into this game. But Butler is mounting a comeback.
And they're doing it on both ends. First, the defense. You got the block for Bryce Enzi, and it leads to the bucket on the other end. The strong drive, the right finish, and a kiss.
8-1 to start the year. Down 1 over on ESPN, Rich.
Thank you, Kevin Connors. If you haven't tuned into college basketball tonight, you might not be aware that number 1 Louisville already went down. They were undefeated. Number 4 Maryland went down. They were undefeated. And now Butler, also one of the remaining 6 undefeated teams in the country, has trailed from the opening tip on the road against 11th ranked Baylor, but they have clawed to within 4 points. We've got a ball game at the Farrell Center alongside Chris Spatola, Rich Hollenberg here. Butler showing why they are one of the teams to beat in the Big East, despite in the preseason being ranked 8th in that conference. Seems a little hard to believe at this point. They trailed by 10 at the half, but they've outscored Baylor by 6 in the second stanza. And now Mark Vital trying to get the Farrell Center crowd back into it.
Those are the types of turnovers we've seen tonight from Butler that you just haven't seen all season. Trying to fit that pass into a tight window, and Baylor doing a nice job converging.
Vital tried to get it inside to Gillespie, out of bounds.
See that 3-point shooting from Baylor in the second half. It's one of the things that has changed. They had 5 threes in the first half and only 1 here in the second.
And that foul's going to go on McDermott from Butler. That's the second foul on McDermott, who leads this team in scoring tonight with 16. Bandu. Now Teague with 10 on the shot clock. Tough shot. Swallowed up by Butler, but Teague gets it back. 7 minutes to go in this one. Vital thought better of the elbow jumper. Now 7 to shoot. Nice pocket pass. And Gillespie the offensive rebound and the putback. That's Baylor's 10th offensive rebound of the night. Taken away by Mitchell. And Vital couldn't hold on to it at the other end. That would have taken the roof off the Farrell Center.
You know, when you drive it strong, when you drive it to finish, it's going to draw help, and it's going to put the defense on its heels. And so that just kind of leaves the offensive board there for Gillespie, who keeps it high. But it starts with taking the ball to the rim like you mean it.
The lead is 6, coming up on 6 minutes to go. Here's Baldwin, the floater. And it's going to stay with the Butler Bulldogs. So put 20 back on the shot clock. That's a new rule this year. With every offensive rebound, the shot clock resets to 20. Baldwin had it under the basket and got fouled. Well, this week, our NBA Wednesday doubleheader featuring some of the NBA's top teams. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the Clippers are in Toronto to take on the Raptors in Kawhi's return to Toronto. Then Giannis and the Bucks host the Pelicans. Both games are on ESPN and the ESPN app. Chris, Giannis and the Bucks, 21-3 on the season. That's tied for the best record in the NBA.
He's the front runner for MVP. There's no question about that. He's having another unreal season.
Every time I watch Milwaukee play, I wonder, there really is no way to stop Giannis Antetokounmpo unless he stops himself somehow. Golden gets the first. Laval Jordan, no quit in this Butler team. They have not led 1 second of this game. But yet here we are with 5:45 to go, and the Bulldogs trailing by just 4.
Jared Butler on the bench for Baylor.
Mitchell, strong take, leaves it for Vital. Third assist of the night for Mitchell, 5 points for Vital. The lead is back up to 6. And
they needed
Butler
that.
Bulldogs answer.
They needed that. They got to find a way to get a stop. And these bigs for Baylor just doing a good job. Offensive glass, playing off.
Five to shoot. Teague, a lot of dribbling. Steps back, and Jamie Luckey calls him for the travel.
That's good defense. I'm telling you, man, like, there is no more helpless feeling in the game of basketball than being on an island, having to guard a guy who can do this with the basketball. And, oh, by the way, could step back and shoot it in your face. It is a helpless feeling. That was a great job by Sean McDermott. Just staying in front, not falling in love or being hypnotized by all that ball handling.
Baldwin, clutch!
Tough, tough, tough.
17 for Kamar Baldwin. Right on his scoring average for the season. The captain leading his team back. Here's Jared Butler back on the floor for the Bears. Tried to get his own miss. Clock stops with 4:08 to go.
This is big time. Gets to his spot and just kind of gives a little fade to it to create a little bit more space. But this has become such a patented shot for Kamar Baldwin. What a scorer he's become.
Now can Butler do it on the defensive end? They've done it that way all year. One of the top defenses in the country. Bandu, short on the 3. and Butler could take a lead with a triple. Baldwin went for the tie and missed it. Nice feed from Butler to Vital. Loose ball. Jared Butler on the deck to come up with it for Baylor.
That's 2 bad possessions for Butler. Uncharacteristic. But in a moment like this, those plays can't be made. You've got to get a shot at the basket.
Now 3 minutes left. Baylor trying to hang on and get their 3rd win against the top 20 team. Offensive foul called that time on Jared Butler, and that's going to be his 4th.
Now Butler, you got a bad shot and a turnover. This is what it leads to. Jared Butler to Mark Vital running the floor, just getting over the rim.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. It's been a night of upsets. Number 1, Louisville, undefeated, no more. Number 4, Maryland, undefeated, no more. Does the same fate behold the Butler Bulldogs? They are ranked 18th and 9-0 coming in. Baylor has led throughout, but Butler is trailing by just 4 with 2:54 to go. Alongside Chris Spatola, Rich Hollenberg from the campus of Baylor University. We're inside the Ferrell Center, and an electric atmosphere that feels a little bit more like March than it does early December.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And it's a big possession. You had the timeout, chance to draw something up. If you're LaVall Jordan, this thing is going to Kamar Baldwin. He's over in the far corner. He comes up the gut.
Now Inzi trying to work on Gillespie. He lost it one time, and then Gillespie got called for the foul the second time. That's the 3rd foul on Gillespie.
And Enzi has struggled from the line this year. It'll be a 1-on-1.
Inzi just a 56% free throw shooter. And he back irons it in for the first one. Saturday afternoon on ESPN, a great doubleheader in college hoops for you. It starts with Memphis and Tennessee at 3 Eastern from Knoxville. Then John Calipari and number 8 Kentucky host Georgia Tech at Rupp Arena in Lexington. Enzi 1 for 2. The lead is 3 for Baylor with the basketball. Here's Jared Butler with the ball. He's playing with 4 fouls. 5 on the shot clock. Nowhere to go. Mitchell. Off the back iron. Another chance to tie for the Butler Bulldogs with a 3. 2 minutes to go. Can Butler stay undefeated on a night when 2 undefeated teams have already gone down? 10 on the shot clock. No whistle. The home crowd wants a traveling violation. We haven't gotten confirmation what the call was. They did get a timeout call.
That was the 2nd time tonight that Aaron Thompson has been on the ground and called a timeout. And it's a smart play. But the story of this second half, offensively for Butler, has been the combination of Kamar Baldwin and Sean McDermott. Baldwin with 17, McDermott with 16. Baldwin's been so aggressive attacking the basket. And McDermott, from that 3-point line, has 4 threes in this game. Really, nobody else, Rich, has kind of jumped into the party. Aaron Thompson really hasn't gotten a flow or a feel. You look at the differential between Baldwin, McDermott, and the rest of the team.
50% from the field are Baldwin and McDermott, but Butler as a whole has really stepped it up in the second half, and it's largely due to those two players. Kamar Baldwin went on that back-to-back-to-back spurt where he had 3 straight buckets. McDermott's hit a couple of big threes. He's got 4 of them in the game.
And their defense has been better. And look, they're still down 3, but their defense has been better, and Baylor hasn't shot it nearly as well in the second half, not even close, as they did in the first half.
So there's a loose ball on the floor that Aaron Thompson corralled and called a timeout with. That leaves Butler with 2 timeouts. Baylor has 2 timeouts. Possession arrow favors the Butler Bulldogs. They'll get the ball inbounding it with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Baldwin. He's got a mismatch guarded by Gillespie. The step back, off the mark, tap back, and Thompson's got it. A deep 3 from Baldwin. And that time, Butler is going to foul on the rebound attempt. And that'll send the Bears to the free throw line.
You know, look, that's the guy you want taking those shots, and I don't have a problem with either of those shots. How about the defense from Freddie Gillespie? I mean, one-on-one at the top of the key with one of the best scorers in the Big East.
He held his ground.
He held his ground. He used his length. He did it without fouling.
And now Freddie Gillespie steps to the line, a 72% free throw shooter. He has 8 points tonight to go along with 9 rebounds, but he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. The lead remains 3 with under 90 seconds to go. Baylor looking for their 3rd win against the top 20 team this season. Ooh. Baldwin with the take.
And he got away with a walk when he caught it. But how about the drive to that left hand, his strong hand. He's got a short memory, man. 2 misses on the last possession, gets it right back, and he's got one thing on his mind.
And Scott Drew wants to talk it over. 1 timeout remaining for the homestanding Baylor Bears. Butler has clawed back into this game.
He walks on the catch because that's well defended by Davion Mitchell, but again, he's matched up with Gillespie, and Gillespie a step late, and you got to have a short memory because, you know, it's winning time. Misses 2 shots on the last possession, and he goes right after it.
The Baylor Bears have led by as many as 16 points on Butler, but Butler, no quit in the Bulldogs. They have fought their way back to within 1 with 1:02 remaining. Ohio State, Auburn, San Diego State, Liberty, Duquesne, and these Butler Bulldogs are the only remaining undefeated teams in college basketball. Louisville ranked 1st, lost tonight to Texas Tech. Number 4 Maryland was undefeated. They lost tonight on the road at Penn State. Butler trying to hang tight and get out of Waco with an upset win. Under a minute to go. Here's T. That's off the mark. Vital tried for the offensive board but didn't get it. Now Baldwin. And an offensive foul called on Kamar Baldwin.
I didn't like it live. I did not like it on tape. That's a block. That's a block. And look, you're allowed to move, but to me, he gets up under that as he's driving the basketball. You can't get up under a driver like that.
Well, another big call in this contest, and Jared Butler is going to signal for a timeout. 35.3 left. Baylor trying to cling to a 1-point lead, ranked 11th in the country, courtesy of their win Saturday against previously undefeated 12th ranked Arizona. Trying to get their 3rd win in their last 4 games against a top 20 ranked opponent.
You know, Baylor is, if they win this, they're going to be in the top 10, and deservedly so. And a lot's going to be made about their guards. But these 2 big kids up front, Freddie Gillespie has been outstanding tonight, protecting their basket, offensive boards, finishing around the rim, and Mark Vital. And that defense, you know, the ability to move his feet, Gillespie on Baldwin. And then Mark Vital sitting next to him there on the bench. I mean, that duo, they do all the dirty work. They allow these guards to operate, and then they clean everything up on the back end.
Well, he's awfully close to his 5th double-double on the season. The numbers aren't going to blow you away, but when you see Freddie Gillespie in person, it's hard to believe that he started his college career in Division III basketball.
And the numbers with those 2 kids won't ever blow you away. I mean, I said this earlier, like, Mark Vital in that Arizona game, he had the biggest impact on that game, and he did not score a point. Think about that. In this day and age where everybody worries about the wrong things, scoring being one of them, Mark Vital had the greatest impact and has had perhaps the greatest impact in this game with limited statage.
They've combined for 14 rebounds and 15 points, have Mark Vital and Freddie Gillespie.
Jared Butler's got to get a shot here. I mean, the ball's got to get enough messing around, get number 12 the ball, and let him go.
10-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock as we come up on 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Mitchell tries for the blow-by. Left hand, no. Shot clock is off. Here's Baldwin for Butler. And Laval Jordan wants to talk it over. The crowd wanted to travel, but they didn't get it.
I didn't like the possession from Baylor. Davion Mitchell cannot be the guy taking that shot. I don't know how Jared Butler doesn't get a touch. And then I like it the other end from Butler, where Laval Jordan looking to see if you can score off of the chaos in transition. Yet you almost had a travel. You got nothing, you call your timeout, and you still have a timeout in your pocket.
Well, tonight after the Jimmy V Classic, stick around for SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. Highlights from tonight's college basketball lineup, plus the Sixers and Heat looking to remain unbeaten at home, and one of all of our favorite segments, Where in the World Isn't SVP? That's SportsCenter after Indiana UConn on ESPN. Well, Butler has not had a lead in this game. They are undefeated, ranked 18th in the country, but with 7.9 seconds to go, they have the ball with a chance to get out of here with a huge road victory and a huge resume builder come March.
Well, you're gonna get Kamar Baldwin coming off some sort of crossing action. And what you have to be concerned about, he's going to take the ball out. Baldwin is. I would imagine he ends up getting it back. But what Butler's 2 big kids have done a nice job of, Christian David and Bryce Enzi, is off of his shot. They've done a nice job following up.
Kamar Baldwin already has a game winner this season for the undefeated Bulldogs. Here he is, 5 seconds to go. Baldwin for the win, got it blocked, and it's out of bounds. 1.5 seconds left on the clock.
Mark Vital.
And wouldn't you know it, Mark Vital is the man who stepped up and denied the Butler star.
I've run out of superlatives for Mark Vital. I mean, he just does it all. And I think that looks like it goes off of Kamar Baldwin.
Roger Ayers, James Breeding, Jamie Lucky, the officials, they are at the scorer's table checking to make sure the call is correct. Right now, the call is Baylor basketball with 1.5 left.
Well, I think they called it Butler. So I think the call on the floor was Butler, but they're reviewing it, and I think it's going to be overturned. I think it'll go down to Baylor.
Here's a close look. That looks like it should be Baylor basketball.
Yeah, that thing, look, it rolls off of Baldwin's forearm.
And so it will be Baylor basketball with 1.5 ticks left. Davion Mitchell to inbounds. They get it to Teague, and he's immediately fouled and will go to the line and shoot. Baylor's in the bonus, so they're just a 1-and-1 opportunity. They're not 2 foul shots. Teague has got to hit the first one.
Well, and even if he misses, it's going to be a heave.
Teague about as reliable from the free throw line as they come. 87% on the season. A perfect 3 for 3 so far tonight.
Well, and Butler does have a timeout, so they could ice. I mean, this never worked on me, and
He missed it.
Yep, there it is.
And with 0.6 left, they get use of that final timeout. So a rare miss at the free throw line from Maceo Teague has set up 1 shot and 1 prayer for the Butler Bulldogs. And with 0.6 left, it ostensibly would have to be some type of a tap-in for a win.
Where's Gordon Hayward when you need him?
Baylor led by as many as 16. They're going to adjust the clock to give Butler just a little more time to get off whatever prayer that Laval Jordan is drawing up in their huddle. If the prayer is not answered, Butler will be the 3rd undefeated team tonight to go down and suffer their first loss of the season. What type of play do you think Laval Jordan could design in this situation?
Got to try to get somebody breaking free on the run. I mean, look, it's got to be a quick heave at that. Not even just a heave, it's got to be a quick one at that.
If Butler wins, they move to 10-0 and remain undefeated. If Baylor wins, it'll be their 7th straight victory and most likely a trip inside the top 10.
I think if you're Baylor, you can't foul. I mean, that's the one thing. You can't have some crazy foul in this situation.
Easier said than done. The officials added 1/10 of a second to the clock, so there's now 0.7 left for Butler to get off a heave and a prayer. Here's Baldwin. I don't think he got it off anyway. It won't count, and the game is over. The Baylor Bears improve to 8-1 on the year and take down another top 20 undefeated team. The Butler Bulldogs become the 3rd undefeated team to fall tonight in college basketball. Here's one last look.
I don't know why he dribbled. I mean, you got space to give your heave. I don't understand why he took the dribble there. You just don't have enough time. What a game, though. What a game.
Both defenses outstanding as advertised, but it's Baylor who comes away with the 1-point win, 53-52. For Chris Spatola and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for a special presentation of Jimmy B's speech, Don't Ever Give Up. So long from Waco, where the Baylor Bears get a win against Butler.